Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Creating Cards with Debbie. I want to thank you for being here today. I'm just going to give a moment for everybody to get on with this. So, get my notes together that we're going to talk about first thing. All right. Today is Thursday, May 14th, 2026. And I'm back on my regular schedule again. All right. So, let me go ahead and start with our housekeeping notes. First off, we have our paper pumpkin kit for June. It says Bikes and Blooms. And you have until June 10th to subscribe to this paper pumpkin kit. It says these cheerful cards with standout silver details are made for feel good moments. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with coordinating envelopes, silver foil and pre cut paper pieces, silver butterfly embellishments, and linen thread. And the Stampin' Spot that you'll get with this kit is going to be Calypso Coral. And it says metallic butterfly embellishments add pops of shine. So you can kind of see in that bottom corner a little butterfly peeking out. Well, maybe you can't on that one, but on my paperwork I see it. And also, to go along with our paper pumpkin kits that have been for April, May, and June, you can add on the dies that go along with that, and they are called Beautiful Blooms dies. The item number on this one is, good question, I don't have it marked down here. Okay, here it is. Item number is 168665, and the cost is $13, and you get all those dies come with that. So it's a pretty good substantial die kit. All right, so next we have a new promotion going on for getting your Stampin' Up! Starter kit. And as you can see, I'm trying to find my paperwork to go along with it so I can read. Okay, it says Love Crafting. Get new in color stamp pads free when you become a demonstrator. And don't let that demonstrator word scare you. All that means is you're going to get a discount on your orders. And if you want to sell to your family or friends, you can have them help you reach your quarterly minimum of $300 every 3 months. So what it says, you get your starter kit for $99, free shipping, and you'll also get the 5 new in color stamp pads free, and that's a $70 value. And you choose $125 worth of products. So with the stamp sets, the stamps, and the $125 worth of products, you're getting $195 worth of merchandise for only $99. So that's a no-brainer. If you've got a large order, you might want to go ahead and do that and get that extra savings. And in the description of the video, I have my link that you can click on to go to that, but let me go ahead and put it up here too. Okay, right here. It's at the bottom of my screen. So again, you join Stampin' Up!, get your starter kit for $99. You get the free stamp pads, the 5 new in colors. These are with the new cases even. And that's a $70 item there, so that you're getting that free along with $125 worth of products that you pick of your choosing. So the value of this is $195 for just $99, and that's free shipping also, so that saves you there too. All right, so let me see. It says when you join Stampin' Up! From May 5th to the 31st, you'll get our new 2026-2028 in color Stampin' pads free. These 5 new on-trend colors are not only fresh and fun, they also come in our new cases that closes with a secure magnetic seal and stacks smoothly, making crafting neater and more organized than ever. Okay, and that comes in the colors of Barely Blush, Crisp Cantaloupe, Golden Glow, Peaceful Pine, and Hydrangea Hue. Along with our Stampin' pads, you'll receive your starter kit, which includes free business supplies and free shipping. Plus, you'll get all the fun that comes with a demonstrator, project inspiration, early access to the latest products and catalogs, demonstrator-only events, and more. Don't need ink? You can choose an additional $35 a product for your starter kit instead. So that's $160 worth of products for only $99. But I think the better deal is probably getting the stamp pads. All right. And then next we have the product of the month for May is this is our Vellum Designer Series paper. And it says Very Botanical Vellum 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Paper. Okay, so it's 12 by 12 sheets of Designer Series paper that is vellum. And you can add that onto your order. If your order is $75 or more, you can add this onto your order for just $5. So that's a very good deal. And let me take this off of there. So you can shop with me at my store, which is www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. So I'd appreciate you shopping with me if you don't have a demonstrator you're working with. I've gone through all the paperwork we need to go through. Yeah. Okay, so let's take this back off the screen. And be sure that you like and share the video and subscribe. That little button there on my YouTube channel. You can click the like and subscribe button and you'll be notified when I go live. I'd appreciate that. And I'm going to remove all this stuff off of here so we can get started. All right. So I'm going to bring my comments up here. Be sure you comment, say hello when you come on and where you're watching me from. It's fun to see where everybody is. All right, so our first project, I need to switch to my desktop here. Switch cameras. All right, and hopefully you can see me okay and you can hear me. We've got our brand new Stampin' Up! Catalog that just went live the beginning of May, well, May 5th, just a little over a week ago. And we're going to be using a couple products out of here. So my first one is going to be, well, I'm not sure if Cutest Crew is in here. I think it's an online exclusive, the one I'm using first. So we're going to skip that for a moment, and we'll talk about that again later. So my first one is going to be using the Cutest Crew bundle. And also, I will be using our embossing folder, which is Forever Plaid 3D embossing powder. Not powder. What am I saying? That folder. Must have powder on the brain or something here. So I don't know if you can really see it that well. Oh, yeah. There you got a good shot of it. So those are the items we're using on our first card. And let me bring the card out here so you can see what I'm talking about. My bits and pieces and instructions. A couple hands there. All right. So here's our card, our first card of the day. It says, "So glad we're friends." And I didn't put anything on the inside of this one, but I will in our card that we make. All right. So glad we're friends. And I've got the dogs and a couple of the cats that are added on to that. So let's go ahead and get started with that. My base of my card is going to be our Secret C. And it measures, just our standard size card, it measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And then it's scored in the center at 4 1/4 inches. So we're going to burnish that fold line. Let me know if you can see me okay and if you can hear me okay. All right, so we're going to go landscape for this one. And I've got our basic white. That's 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And I've already gone ahead and embossed that layer already. So you won't have to watch me doing that. And we're going to start assembling here. I have die cut. I'll show you what I did. Got kind of a tickle in my throat for some reason today. Must be a lot of pollen in the air or something. Okay, so I die cut Secret C with the little footprints, paw prints, and then the cloud cover using this one with the little notches in it. So those are the two dies we used. And I've already die cut those already. So we're going to go ahead and layer those down here. See, I've got 2 of each. And I'm going to just place the dog prints at the upper portion here. And the cloud cover strip will go underneath that. Let's go ahead and start gluing. And I'm going to bring my silicone mat over here so I don't make a mess with my glue. And we'll add some drops of glue to this. I'm just going in between each paw print here with the glue. Hope everybody's had a good week. Mine's been pretty good. No complaints from this side of the table. All right. And then we'll place that down. I'm going to try to center it because I'm not using the whole width of it, but I want to be able to show the paw prints. So I'm going to give that a rub, and we're going to do the same with the cloud cover layer. Then line of glue. Not a lot, just a dot. And get hold of that without getting glue on my fingers. That's challenging. All right, it's going to go right below that. So I'm going to scooch this over a little bit. I hope I don't have my head in the camera. Don't need to see my gray hair. All right, and then we'll do the same for the bottom one. I'm going to be holding a in-person class for scrapbooking kits, which will be not this Friday, but the following Friday, the 23rd or 22nd. So if anybody's local and would like to come, let me know. All you need to do is just order a scrapbooking kit, and that covers the cost of the class. So we'd love to have you. We've got some of my faithful card makers that are coming. We haven't gotten together for a long time. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. And I haven't done any scrapbooking for a few years here. So I think just before COVID was the last time I did. So it'd be good to get back into it again. And Stampin' Up's got some wonderful scrapbooking kits already done up that you can purchase and then just sit and put them together. All right. But if you're local and want to come, let me know and we'll make it happen. All right, so I've got those down. I'm going to just trim off the edges, snip those off. both sides. A little glue on my scissors. I'm going to have to clean them off afterwards with a little alcohol. All right, can I get these off my fingers? Right. Rub some of that glue off my fingers. Let me remove that banner. Okay, got that out of the way. Get me back to my comments again. Like I said, say hello when you come on. All right, and we're going to stick this down onto our card front. I'm going to have a little edge going around it. Let's see if that's straight. That's good. Okay, so here's our card so far. We need to work on our cats and dogs here, so I'm going to bring over a scrap of basic white. And we're going to stamp those cats and dogs. And so we'll do the dogs first. And now the cats. I'm going to use just 2 of the cats on here, so I don't really need the whole thing. But as long as I've got it going. Right. And then I'm going to stamp "So Glad We're Friends" for our sentiment. So I'll do that while I'm at the stamping part of it. So glad we're friends. I might change this up. Let me see if I can use the punch here and it'll fit on there. No, it's too long. We're just going to fussy cut that out. All right, let's close this up. I don't have any black ink on my fingers to smudge something. And then we're going to use our blends, color those. And olive green, or old olive, I mean. I've got the strawberry slush. I'm not sure if I'm going to use cloud cover. I've got, these are the new in colors. It is Golden Glow. I've got Darling Duckling, Timid Tiger, and Smoky Slate. We'll start with those and see what else we might need. So I'm going to only color this cat and this cat. So I want to do those with the orange, the Timid Tiger. So let me start out with the light Timid Tiger. And we'll color those cats. We've got orange cats today. And coloring outside the lines here today. Trying to do them too fast here, I guess. Slow down. And my husband went off to mow the grass at our church. He does that, keeps the yard done up. So it's kind of quiet here today. All right. And then we're going to start coloring the dogs. So I'm going to start out with our Golden Glow. And I'm going to do the lights. And we'll color this outside dog, Golden Glow. I'm going to do his body with the light, and then I'm going to come back and do the ears with the dark. And maybe his tail also. And don't forget his tail there. All right, and then I'm going to do this little guy, the same color. So again, we'll start with the light. I'll do his ears with the dark Golden Glow. Okay, now the dark Golden Glow for the tail and the ears. All right. And then I want to do the gray smoky slate. I'll start with the light. And I'm going to color the other two dogs with the gray. That's his paw right there, underneath his tongue. All right, I think I'll do the other dog with the dark gray. Dark smoky slate. This little guy looks like a schnauzer. Get those ears. Even the traffic's quiet today. That's unusual. Usually we have trucks running by here all the time. All right, so we got the gray done, and I'm going to do the tongue with the strawberry slush, the dark. And I guess that's the only tongue I've got to do, just one. And I might as well do the dog's bandana. Do that one, and then I'm going to do Timid Tiger for the other dog scarf. This. And now the flowers. I'm using the light darling duckling. I'll just color all these flowers the same. All right, and then we'll come back with our olive light to do the stems of the flowers. Okay. These are out of the way. Back in my container. All right, now we're going to bring our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We'll get the plates. I'll do some die cutting. Run these both through at the same time. Well, I'm going to cut out the cats individually, so we'll hold up on that. Got the wrong die. Here we go. So center that on our doggies. And I'm going to tape that down so it doesn't move on me. And then I'm going to cut up my cats. There's a die for just a single ones. And the other one is where? The dogs. Okay, right here. Well, okay, I'll leave that one. Some of these stick really good to that sheet. Oh, that's a dog. I need the cat. Okay. So I'm going to hold those down with my washi tape. And I'll put a little piece here for the other cat. And it moved on me. I guess that's probably good. Put our top plate on there. We'll run that through our machine. Still got the squeak. Okay, so cut out the one little cat. And our other cat. Because I need my pokey tool. Take the pick tool. Push the cat out of there. Well, she doesn't want to let go. And our dogs. All right, set that there. here's the dogs and the two cats we've already colored and die cut. So I'm going to add those to the center of the front of our card, but I'm going to put these guys up on dimensionals. And put on there. You take your pick tool, remove those dimensional backings. And then we're going to center that on the front of our embossed layer. And the cats I'm going to just glue directly down. I'm not going to put those up on dimensionals. And have them sitting next to the flower there. And our other cat on the other side. All right. Very cute. What do you think? All right. And then next I'm going to fussy cut greeting off of there. So let me do that. I'm just going to cut it away here. Have a smaller area to work with. And I'm just going to fussy cut around it. Do I hear Jojo? Let me get that a little narrower. And it's going to go down here. And we're going to place that up on dimensionals also. So let's bring that back over here. And I think I'm just going to use this strip here. Outer edge of my dimensionals. I'll attach that to our card front. And I'm going to place it right here. So glad we're friends. And then when you cut out the paw print die, you got the centers of their paw, and it looks like a heart. So I'm going to use some of those. I take your pick tool, and I'm going to put a few dots of glue. And we'll pick those hearts up and place them down. And that one's kind of hidden right there. There we go. And I'm going to do 5. So I'm going to do one here, one there, and another one maybe up here. And the other one can go above that dog. All right. I might use my Wink of Stella to add a little bling to the flowers. I'm not putting any of the bling on it. All right. Oh, I forgot to cover their tags. Let me do those. Smoky slate. All right, now we've got them. Okay, so here's the front of our card. So glad we're friends. And then for the inside, we have a layer of basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to stamp that with Have the Best Day. And I think I'll stamp it at the bottom. Be something different. Have the best day. And I still got some of those hearts left, so I'm going to bring those over and put them on the inside of our card. I think I'll put them right up here too. Let me turn those over. Trying to get that one to turn over. Being stubborn. And maybe another one down this bottom corner. So 3's, odd number. Now let's put that inside of our card. Open that. Okay. Here's a stamp pad. And of course I've got ink on me. My baby white. I don't want to transfer ink to my project. All right. So glad we're friends. And then on the inside, have the best day. So I hope you like that. And we'll get started with our next one. Put these back in the packaging. Okay. So card number 2. I cased this one from the catalog. So you can even get ideas for your projects by looking at the pictures in the catalog. But a lot of times they give you ideas. So this one, You Always Make Me Smile. And this comes from the Flowering Meadow. And these are both in the May to August 2026 catalog, the new catalog that just started. And I'm using the Dreamy Flowers and the banner dies, party banners. And okay, so my idea came from the catalog. And let me show you that in here. We can open them now, so that's good. It comes from page 32 and 33. So the picture right here is what I'm going to be doing, that same card. All right, and the designer series paper is a velvet. It's called Velvet Meadow. And that little felt on one side of all these papers and then just a plain on the other side. So this is called Velvet Meadow 12 by 12 specialty paper. So we're going to be using that today, and I just bumped the camera. Okay. So let's get all of our bits and pieces out here. Here's our card. Let's set that aside for a moment. Our card base is going to be our thick weight, which measures 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. And then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So we're going to burnish that fold line. Oops, I got hearts hanging on. All right. And then next we have our designer series paper that I just showed you, and it's got the felt and then just a plain design on the back side. This measures 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, and it's the exact front for the card. So let's go ahead and attach that. So there's no direction on this. They're all going different directions. So I'm going to pick up my card and I'm going to place it on there so it covers the whole card front. Very pretty and soft. Okay, then I cut the banner, party banner, out of bubble bath. And I used this die. So that would be from the outside 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do this number 7 of the banners, party banners. Put this back in here. I lost a die the other day and I had a hard time finding it, so I'm trying to be careful with my dies that I don't misplace them. Be done. Okay, so here's our bubble bath and our die cut. Cuts like that. Got on my magnetic dish there. And I'm going to wait on the card assembling. I'm going to work on this one first. So first off, I've got scrap of basic white. And let me just get all my images over here. Right, and we're going to stamp using we're using the Peaceful Pine for the leaves, and Bubble Bath and Berry Burst for the flower. So let me stamp those on the scrap first with the Bubble Bath. I had my breakfast this morning. My stomach feels like it wants to growl. I guess the cereal ain't sticking by me very long. All right, and we'll stamp that. And next, we're going to do the Berry Burst for the center of our flowers. This is one of our old stamp pads, but it still works, so I haven't replaced it yet. And this is going to be the centers, the stamen, I guess that's what it's called. And we're going to stamp in the center of our flowers. And we'll stamp our sentiment using our Berry Burst. Let me put that on. This is like a 1/2 inch. Okay, you always make me smile. And then next, I'm going to grab our green Peaceful Pine. Well, I just got berry bursts on my finger. We can't be stampers if we don't have inky fingers. All right. And let's bring this over here. Let me do these die cuts first. Bring the machine back over here. Get my plates lined up here. And I need the dies that go with that. Where did I put them? Oh, right here. Stamp set dies. So I want the flowers. And again, I'm going to use my washi tape to hold it in place. We don't want it moving. Set that aside. And there's our flowers cut out. Gonna hurt something. That's with a bracelet. Okay. So get this back in here. All right. Close this pad up. And now we can bring our peaceful pine over here. But first I want to do a dry fit to see where I want my flowers. So I can figure out where to put the stem at. So probably right there. Look how easy these open. No fuss, no strain. All right, and we're using the stems for the flower. And I'm going to put them right about there. Yeah, right there. Looks good. So we're going to do the leaves first. I hear the blackbirds outside, or crows. I'm not sure what they are. All right. Here's our sentiment. I'm going to place my flowers up on dimensionals and also the sentiment. Okay. I tore that end, I guess, but I kind of like it like that. I think I'll leave it. All right. And attach our flowers. And I've got our essential baker's twine pack. And I'm going to use the white. And I'm going to wrap that across the top side here. And I'll get enough so I can tie a decent bow maybe. We'll see how that goes. Usually it's hard to do it on camera for some reason. Let's go across the upper portion. Let me get my tails together so I can get them even. And I want it off to the left side. I think I'm going to bring my reverse tweezers over here to hold this. I can tie a bow. We're going to just tie it. And a little bit farther over. There we go. It's down too low. Scooch it up a little bit. Well, we've got butterfingers here. And take our tweezers and hold that in place. And tie a bow. Well, it's not the prettiest bow, but it'll do. Oops. I pulled on that wrong. Get that loop back up here. Well, all right, now let's go ahead and attach these to our card front. If you want, you could place this banner up on dimensionals, but I'm going to keep it the way it is to make it go through the mail a little easier. We've already popped up our flowers. All right, and then we'll place that down centered. I'm still fussing with this bowl yet. Shorten those. Okay, and then we're going to bring over our embellishments, and these are the dreamy flowers. So we'll take these backings off and attach that over the bottom portion of our flower stems. And then we'll grab some of these out. I'm going to use the, looks like berry burst. I hope you can't hear my stomach growling. All right, so we're going to take a large one. And we'll place that there. A smaller one. Go there. And another small one. We'll place that right there. Okay, so here's the front of our card with my messed up bow. You always make me smile. And then on the inside, I'm not going to put another layer in there. I'm just going to stamp a sentiment inside. I'm going to go with So Glad We're Friends. And I need to clean this with my hammy. It still has a black ink on it. I need to use the Berry Burst. Spank that to dry a little bit. So glad we're friends. And right in the middle. Raise that up. So here's our second card. You always make me smile. And so glad we're friends on the inside. So that's card number 2. Let me clean up a little bit here. I had an extra piece of that designer series paper. I might go ahead and put that on the inside just to decorate a little bit. Yeah, I think we'll put it down here. My glue bottle must be getting towards the end. I got to keep shaking it. Leave a small border at the bottom. And I don't think I have to trim that at all. It's good. All right. I like that. It dresses it up a little bit. So glad we're friends. And you always make me smile. So that was cased out of the catalog. So you get some ideas how to use your stamps. All right. Next we have, put these away, out of my way. This is the new Relaxing Waterside. And the designer series paper is called Waterside Retreat. And we're going to be using the back of that paper, and also this one, the back side. So those two. Here. Get our supplies out. Card number 3. All right, it's kind of a fun fold. It's going to open like this, and then our inside card opens this way. So this is going to be a Father's Day card. That's coming up here pretty soon. All right, relax. Today is your day. And we've got the little scenery there with the cup and the chair. And Happy Father's Day on the inside. So we're going to start out with our card base, which is our pool party. And that measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. We're going to burnish that fold line. And I bring my paper trimmer over here. And we're going to cut that front flap on the left side at 1 1/2 inches. 1 1/2. And I'm going to go cut up to the score line. And you can't really see me here. At 1 1/2 inches. Just up to the score line. Trimmer back away. So it's kind of a floppy. And then next we've got our designer series paper layers. Well, I've got basic white first, and that measures 3 7/8 inches by 4 1/8 inches. And our designer series paper that goes on top of that measures 3 3/4 inches by 4 inches. That's going to sit right on top of that white mat. And then for our left side, I've got a basic white that measures 1 3/8 inches. And our designer series paper measures 1 1/4 inches by 4 inches. So we're going to go ahead and attach that down. Bring our glue back over here. The backside's cute too. It's got the bicycles. I might have to do a card with that pretty soon. It's really cute. All right, got smudges of ink down here already. Can't keep a neat, clean surface here. All right, put that down. I'm going to set that aside for a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this one to our basic white. Life jackets on the back of this one. We sold our boat probably a couple of months ago now. So we kept our life jackets because we have friends that have a boat. So if we go with them, we'll need the life jackets. So keeping them. All right, that's not quite centered. Okay. Put that down on there. And center it on the right side. And I'm going to add a ribbon to this. I'm using the specialty Rick Rack, and this is the old olive color. And I'm thinking about 7 inches. We'll do it. And I'm going to grab my tear and tape and my silicone mat here. Find the end of it. And I'm going to go off the edge. I want that to wrap around the back side. And tear and tape, you just tear it off. You don't need scissors. And I take your pick tool. That's right here. And just take that off. And then I'm going to grab my ribbon, my Rick Rack, and we're going to place that down on top. And run it across the back side. I'm going to trim off that excess. Now this is going to go onto our little flap there on the left side. And attach that to the flap. And hold that for a second. All right. And now I'm just going to glue this flap down. Okay, oops, I got sticky right there. My glue eraser and get rid of that. Cards are sticking to it. There. And next we have die cuts. These came from the Sweet Words and Labels. Let me show you which one we used. I glued that in there from something. All right, so we used the second largest on this and the third largest. I put the basic weight with the larger one and my pool party with this one. These are really pretty dies. All right, and let's slip that back into the container. Okay, so here's our pool party and the white, basic white. We're going to attach those together. But first I'm going to stamp on this one first. So I'm going to bring my leaves over here. And want Old Olive and pecan pie. Did I not grab that ink pad? Oh, it's right here. So the leaves or the flower weeds or whatever they are, I'm going to stamp using pecan pie. And I'm going to put something under me to catch that. All right, ink up our grasses. And I'm going to stamp them on either side. Let me see right there. And one on the left side. And put a few across the bottom. Okay. I can put that onto our die cut here. And so far, but we're not done with it yet. I'm just going to go onto this layer. I'm going to put it up on dimensionals and I'm debating what I want to do here. Well, with my original, I stamped that on just on there, so I'm going to figure out what we're going to do. I did one chair using pecan pie. I stamped it onto our pool party. Or I did a green Old Olive. So I'm not sure which one I want to use. I think I kind of like the pool party. The green is kind of stark. I'll put this one on the inside. So I think I'm going to go with the pool party one. And let me just grab to stamp Relax. And my original, I stamped it right onto that, but I don't know. I guess I could. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with the plan. Relax. And I can attach this to that layer. And don't want to cover up your sentiment there, so I'm going to move it a little bit. And this can go up on dimensionals. And looks like I'm going to be using some edges here. Pretty much finished off these. I'm going to need a new sheet here pretty soon. And I'm going to put 6 on there because I don't want it sinking in the middle. Pop those backings off. All right. This is going to go centered onto that right side flap. So I think that's straight. All right, so here we are so far. But we're not done. We got to do the inside. So we've got a basic weight that is 7 inches by 3.5 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 3.5 inches. So we're going to burnish that fold line. And you're going to place that into our card upside down. So it's going to open this way. Well, I've got the wrong one there. That was my first cut. It was a wrong cut. So let's do this again. Burnish that fold line. And again, we're going to go this way inside of that card, but I want to decorate this first. And so we've got relax, and then today is your day on the inside. Yeah. So I'm going to die cut this out real quick. We're going to be using that on the inside. And get my die back out here. All right, where'd I put it? Well, I'm losing things. Here we are. Our dies. And get this one here, the large die. Cut out the chair. And get that centered on there, right? So we don't chop off anything we don't want to chop off. And our top plate. Run that through. Okay, got the chair cut out for the inside card. And we have a strip of designer series paper that is about 1 1/4 inch by 3.5 inch. And they're both the same. One's going to go on the inside, one's on the outside. So this is going to go across the bottom there. And we'll attach that. I'm putting it completely to that score line. Our chair is going to sit there. And day. Today is your day. And a coffee cup and a seagull. So I'm going to bring my scrap paper over here. And we're going to stamp the seagull using smoky slate. And I think that's all I got to use the smoky slate for. And I'm going to stamp my cup with the pecan pie. And we're going to die cut those out. Close this up and bring our machine back over here. I only thought I was done. Okay, I'm in a hurry today, so make sure I don't mess up. I'm taking my time. Okay, so cut out the seagull and the coffee cup. And here's a seagull and a coffee cup. Some of that washi tape. And the seagull die. And hot plates. Get that going through. Okay, so here's our coffee cup. And our seagull. All right, now we're going to grab a sticky note. And we're going to mask off our designer series paper so we don't get any color on it. While we stamp the grass. And I did those with a pecan pie. Going to place one on that left side. Oops. Got a gap there. Let's see if I can match it up. Well, It's stopping me from stamping right. I guess that'll look okay. And this one can be lower. Okay, that one did good. Tear off our sticky notes. And I might put my chair over there to cover up that. Coffee cup. And The seagull can go down here in this corner. Okay, that'll work. And the coffee cup will go onto the chair arm. And we'll put our little seagull at the bottom right-hand corner. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment. Today is your day. See something here. Okay. Today is your day. And then on the inside, we've got Happy Father's Day and another stem, grass. I'm going to clean this off. Maybe it's needing cleaning before I use it again. Get it to stamp better. Spank it dry. All right, ink that up with the pecan pie again. And much better. And I'm going to grab, well, I guess I could have that along the bottom. That would look okay. A layer of the other. Okay. Going to add our birds paper, designer series paper. And I'll meet up with that score line. And then we're going to just stamp Happy Father's Day. Okay. Now we're ready to attach this to the inside of our card. Let's open that up, and it's going to go right in here. Remember, it's opening this way. And center that. I'm going to bring my Wink of Stella over here, and we're going to add a little sparkle to that coffee in that coffee cup. All right. Here we have that, but we're not done yet. We need to add some bling. I've got the Moody Palette Glossy Dots. We're going to use the old olive ones. Take your pick tool right here. And We'll place 3. Looks like the husband's back home from mowing the church. 1, 2, and a third one. We'll use a small one. Put that right there. Kind of like a triangle. All right, I'm going to bring that rickrack back over here. Instead of doing a bow, I'm just going to tie a knot. I don't think it'll be too girly for a man. Hopefully not. And snip that off. I didn't even measure this. I just kind of eyeballed it and went ahead and tied the knot. All right, grab my mini glue dot. Pick that up. And we'll place that down on top of our rickrack trim on that side panel. All right, so that concludes our cards for today. So it says, relax. Today is your day. And happy Father's Day. All right. So let's bring all those over here and close our program for today. And that tail is kind of wild on there and won't stay put. Okay, so these are the cards we did today. Hope you enjoyed them. Be sure you like and share the video if you're watching me on Facebook. And if you're watching me on YouTube, be sure that you hit that subscribe button and the like. And there's a little bell on there also. You click on that and you'll be notified when I go live. So until next Thursday, which will be May 21st, same time, same channels. Y'all have a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend. And hopefully you'll get time in there to do a little bit of crafting. And if you need any supplies or anything, be sure you go to my store if you don't already have a demonstrator you're working with. I'd appreciate your business. It allows me to bring the free videos every week. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. And you can get the instructions for these on my blog later. It's in the description of the video. So I'm going to put it up here again. So bye for now. Thank you for being here.